be opening with the best looking car contest for the late model Sportsman division. Those of you who were here last week know that we have already done the best looking awards last week in the new Super Sportsman division and in the Limited Sportsman division. But this being actually our regular opening day, last week being the American Canadian Tour, we will have our best looking car award in the late model Sportsman class and also in the Wild and Woolly Wildcats.
Our best looking car competition now taking place for the late model Sportsman division. Our judges today, the director of competition here at the Speedway, Mr. Bob Libby. Also from Stock Car Racing Magazine, Robin Hartford, and from the Coca-Cola Company and our pace car driver, Larry Chandler. Our top 3 awards this afternoon will start at 3rd place with a gentleman who's already picked up 1 award at our Pape Chevrolet show back a few weeks ago. Please welcome from South Portland, Maine, Timmy Land. Tim, congratulations. A nice job this year, and I know that's another one for the mantle.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Tim Land. In 2nd place, this man has been back and forth in 1st and 2nd all year long. Today he'll pick up another 2nd place award from Scarborough, Maine, and the number 32. Welcome, Joe Bowser. Joe, congratulations. It wouldn't be right to give you a 2nd place award today without first asking some of the other awards you've won this year, because you've won a slew of them. Tell us about them.
Well, we started out at Augusta Civic Center. We won Best of Show up there. Then we went on to Springfield, Massachusetts, and we got the Most Outstanding Exterior and Design Award. And then we went to the mall and we won Best of Show in the late mall at the mall, and now 2nd place here.
Well, that's not bad for, let's see, you won 4 or 5 awards, and we're only into 2 races, so that's not bad.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll keep coming, but we'll see.
And the next time they'll have checkered flags with them. We wish you the best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Bowser. That leaves position number 1 for a former champion from 1985 with the number 37, his first award of the season. Welcome forward, Bob Harrison. Bob, congratulations. A beautiful car this year. Tell us a little bit about the design, who you're working with this year, because that's different than something we've ever seen you run before.
It is kind of bright, Andy. I really like to thank Steve Chase. He's the guy that really did the body on it and the paint scheme and so on and so forth. And Mark Tata, who owns the car. They work together on the scheme. I mean, it's probably not me, but it does look pretty good from here. I also like to thank my sponsors, Miller, Maine Linoleum. They're the big sponsors on the car.
It's pretty amazing to look at the number 37 now. When I think back to what must have been the early 70s and a yellow number 37, 57 coupe that you were riding out here. Did you ever envision we'd be into these colors back then?
No way. No, this is different. But hey, I like it. I like the cars. I like the colors of the cars.
Well, we're sure you're going to look good in it, and we hope it goes as well as it looks this year. We wish you the best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for our top 3 and the winner, Bob Harrison.
Qualifying heat number 1 for the Limited Sportsman division. 12 cars to qualify, and believe me, that not all going to make it. Green flag out of turn 4 as the pace was a little slow. 3 wide, they race the front stretch to the 1 turn. Pole sitter Danny Arnold leads the way down the backstretch, has a challenge on the outside. That is the 68 of Chuck Haynes as they enter turn 3. Chuck Haynes is your new leader, the number 68. Here comes the 61 on the outside. 61 driven by Gordon Nelson, veteran Limited Sportsman driver here at the Speedway. Cars stacked up behind the number 65 of Danny Arnold, looking for racing room. Alan Burby, as he gets to the bumper of the 65, has to back out of it. Here comes Richard Olin up the inside, challenging. 3 wide again down the front stretch. Steve Reno between cars. The number 7 on the move right up the middle, as is the 96 of John Maycomber. Cars trying to work their way up out of the back of the pack. Gary Clough in the 0. Number of strong contenders back at the toward the end of this qualifying heat. Keep your eyes on that 12th place position. Driver must make it up into the top 12 in order to qualify for the feature event and avoid coming back out in a consolation event. Top 2 cars are running away with it right now, Chuck Haynes and Gordon Nelson. Big jump on the rest of the field. Then comes the 50 of Alan Burby, the 69 of Richard Olin. Steve Reno on the move up the backstretch, takes over the 5th place position as the 65 begins to go backwards, perhaps experiencing some mechanical difficulty, the rookie Danny Arnold. Breaking up into that top dozen. Always a concern in that qualifying heat. Gary Adams on the move as he works his way out and around the 65. Cars all bunched up around here, the 65 in a spin. All the drivers do a nice job of getting out and around the 65. Spin by the 138 of Paul Ross. He gets it back underway, as does Arnold. And we stay under green. Chuck Haynes now, a lot of pressure from Gordon Nelson. They'll be approaching the halfway mark in this 15-lap qualifier in the limited sportsman. 8 down and 7 to go. 12 cars to qualify. Top 8 now have broken away from the rest of the pack, and it's a battle to be in that top 12. Shaping up now, side-by-side battle between the 0 of Gary Clough, the 45 of Paul Driscoll, laps winding down. Chuck Haynes doing a nice job working his way around lap cars. The 61 of Gordon Nelson, they'll see 2 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. Assistant starter Junior Niles indicates 2 laps to go. The magic number is 12, and it looks like the 0 of Gary Clough holds down that last qualifying position at this time. White flag is out. Looks like the 0 is your last qualifier. Checkered flag will be in the air. Here comes Gordon Nelson to the outside, but Chuck Haynes takes the first qualifier, followed by Gordon Nelson, Alan Burby, Richard Olin. Very competitive limited sportsman division. As he coasts down to collect the colors, let's have a nice round of applause for Chuck Haynes, winner of the first qualifying heat in the limited sportsman division. The all-new Super Sportsman out for their first qualifier of the day. Flagman Eddie Walsh on the stand asking him to keep it even, looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Tony Field from the pole position. Rod Moody right up the inside to take over second spot. Arthur Hannaford, here comes Rod Moody right up the inside as he just slingshots by the number 11 of Tony Field. field experiencing some mechanical failure evidently in the number 11 as the car appears to have perhaps lost its power or something's gone awry on the number 11. He took it right down into the speed bumps. Drivers did a nice job of working their way around the number 11, and he continues to experiencing mechanical failure on the backstretch. Rod Moody takes advantage of that, stretches out a comfortable lead over Arthur Hannaford in the 55. Then comes Lee Day out of Freiburg, Maine, longtime late model Sportsman competitor at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Then comes Dave Sprague in the number 1. Channel One Video sponsored number 1 of Dave Sprague up from the limited Sportsman division. One of 2 strong running Ford contenders in the 07. That is Doug Shores from Falmouth, Maine. First time on the track, I believe, for the Doug Shores car, the 07, as is the case of the number 15 of Butch Buzzell. A couple of strong contenders, though, and you'll definitely look for them to kind of sort out the car, and they will definitely be in the thick of things. Halfway mark already as the cross flags go out. Rod Moody with a comfortable lead, better than a half straightaway over Arthur Hannaford. Lee Day looks to the inside of Arthur Hannaford. Dave Sprague looking to see if he can find room to the outside. Doug Shores getting used to his all-new number 07. Talked to Doug Shores just briefly in the pit area, and he said that it's been a real scramble to get the car ready. Evidently got kind of a late start. Things just got behind schedule a little bit, and it's really been a push to get here today. And as of this morning, talking with him in the late morning, had not had an opportunity to try the car yet. 2 to go, says flagman Eddie Walsh, as Rod Moody has put a big lead on the rest. Spin by the number 1 of Dave Sprague, and also spinning in the 3 and 4 turn, the 07 of Doug Shores, the 15 of Butch Buzzell brings out the yellow flag as liquid has been dumped on the speedway right between the 3 and 4 turn. Rod Moody has a strong challenge from Arthur Hannaford on his outside, but Moody has the strength right up the inside to retake the lead. Rod Moody, your leader in the 08, followed by Arthur Hannaford in the 55. Phil Weeks in the 70th. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. First time out for the 17 of Phil Weeks, obviously needing to sort out the car. Checkered flag will be in the air. First heat of the afternoon for the Super Sportsman going to Rod Moody in the 08, followed by Arthur Hannaford in the 55. As Rod Moody brings his Super Sportsman down to the start-finish line area, let's have a nice round of applause for the winner of the first heat of the afternoon in the Super Sportsman division, Rod Moody. On the speedway now, heat number 1 for the late model Sportsman division. Looking for a start at turn 4 is flagman Eddie Walsh. Green is out. Tim Land right from the pole position. Cars tangle in the 1 turn. Billy Charles and David Bath come together. Looks like everybody continues to move with the exception of the 83. Now the 01 comes to a stop, and that will bring out the caution as both the 01 of David Bath and the 83 of Steve Carrier were motionless when that yellow flag came out. Ready for a start out of turn 4, green. This time it's Tim Land right off the pole. And he has a strong challenge on the inside. Mike Mayetta Jr., Corey Sanborn on the outside. John Pippin in the 59. As the top 4 put a little distance on the rest of the pack. Now Mike Mayetta Jr. takes a look to the outside of Tim Land. Out of turn 2, puts the number 3 in the outside groove, moves up, trying to make a bid on the outside. Tim Land on the inside, Mike Mayetta Jr. to the outside. Mayetta almost draws it even as they approach turn 2, looking to turn 2 and down the backstretch. Now the advantage slightly to Mayetta as they race to the 3 turn. Mike Mayetta Jr. takes over the lead. Coming to the stripe, your new leader, Mike Mayetta Jr. in the number 3 out of South Portland. Youngster still in the South Portland High School, I believe. Been an impressive runner here in his short time at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Tim Land experiencing difficulty now right down in the speed bumps in the infield. Something gone amiss on the number 16 as he takes it right into the infield grass. Tough break for Tim Land. They're coming to the halfway mark. Mike Mayetta Jr. has stretched out a lead over Corey Sanborn in the 67 and John Pippin Jr. in the 59. Impressive run by the young rookie out of South Portland. Haven't had a chance to put a watch on the number 3, but it looks to me like he's turning very, very quick time. Comfortable lead over Corey Sanborn and the 59 of John Pippin out of Bar Harbor. Gentleman who intends to run on a weekly basis with us here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. 2 to go. Mayetta turns a 15.67. You'll recall last week the time trial winner ran in 15.50. Young Mike Mayetta Jr. just ran a 15.67. He's letting his presence be known. Comes under the white flag, 1 lap to go. Looking to pick up his first heat in his rookie year in the late model sportsman division, and doing it in an impressive manner as he has better than a half straightaway lead over the second place contender. Checkered flag in the air. Mike Mayetta Jr. collects up the first late model sportsman heat event of the afternoon, followed by Corey Sanborn and John Pippin. As Mike Mayetta Jr. coasts down to collect up the colors, let's have a nice round of applause for Mike Mayetta Jr. winning the first late model sportsman heat of the afternoon. Very impressive time by the youngster, looking to follow in his dad's footsteps. And those will be big footsteps to fill. Heat number 2 for the limited sportsman on the Speedway. The number 94 on the pole is a rookie, Dennis Hall. The number 88 to his outside is Mike Field. Looking for a start at turn 4 is flagman Eddie Walsh. Green is out. The number 94 of Dennis Hall jumps into a quick lead. Battle now is for second. The number 9 of Mike Grant on the inside. Trying to hold off the strong challenge of Mike Field in 88. Can't quite do it. Mike Field takes over the second place position. 75 Donnie Morse way out over the stripe as he gets too wide coming out of 4. Does a nice job of collecting the car back up. Has it sideways in the 1 and 2 turn, as does Dave Field Jr. Drivers do a nice job of collecting those cars and holding. Right now, that 12th position is in the hands of the 06 of Dennis Quinn. Rookie Dennis Hall in the number 94 doing a nice job trying to hold off the veterans. He has the number 70 of Jeff Morgan working to his outside. Morgan, your new leader. Jeff Morgan. Here comes the 23 of Robbie Dorr and the 54 of Rick Furnett. A lot of veteran drivers in this limited sportsman division wanting to make sure that they are in the top 12. Only the top 12 qualify for the main event. The rest have to come back in the consi. Jeff Morgan, Robbie Dorr. Third place dead heat, Dennis Hall in the 94, the 54 of Rick Furnett, the 88 of Mike Field make up your top 5. 12th place appears to be in the hands of the number 84. Jeff Morgan out to an impressive lead. Gets a jump on the rest of the field. Top 3 cars break away. The scramble now is from 4th place on back. Pee Wee Knight making his way to the front, working to the outside of the 88 of Mike Field. Knight now to the outside of the 94 of Hall. Pee Wee Knight in the 111, runner-up in the 1990 season in the limited sportsman division. Veteran racer here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, definitely a car to watch. They're approaching the halfway mark this time by. 8 down and 7 to go in this 15-lap qualifier. Your Higher Point limited sportsman. 12th place at the moment appears to be the 19 of Phil Weeks. Jeff Morgan continues to put a little distance on Robbie Dorr and Rick Furnett. And that has to be a concern to the rest of the competitors, because Robbie Dorr and Furnett are strong runners, a lot of strong runners here. And to have Jeff Morgan be able to go out to the lead that he has put on the rest of the cars has got to be a concern to the crews as they view their cars from behind the pit wall. Remember, only 12 to qualify. It looks like the 38 now holds that spot. A lot of strong contenders still outside a qualifying position at this moment, as 11 laps are down in this 15-lap qualifier. Rick Furnett now putting the pressure to the back of the number 23 of Dorr, as little by little the 111 closes in on the top 3 cars. Jeff Morgan has it all to himself as he races the backstretch into the 3 and 4 turn. He'll see the 2 flags from flagman Eddie Walsh. 2 to go. Rick Furnett now trying to find a way around the 23 of Dorr. He looks outside, now he looks inside. 3 abreast racing into the 1 turn. Dennis Hall now, the rookie, way up high as the veterans have put a lot of pressure on the youngster. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Jeff Morgan comes under the checkered flag to pick up his first heat of the 1991 season. Robbie Dorr, Rick Furnett, Pee Wee Knight, and Mike Field round out the top 5. 34 appeared to be the 12th place car by our unofficial calculations. That would be Bob Shepard. Jeff Morgan coasts down to the start-finish line area, winning the 2nd qualifying heat of the day. A nice round of applause, please, for Jeff Morgan. Heat number 2 for the Super Sportsman on the Speedway. David Bath and Steve Howard bring them down. Flagman Eddie Walsh says hold it even to turn 4. Green is out. Slight advantage to pole sitter David Bath as they race to the 1 turn. Stevie Howard working hard on the outside. Side by side, door handle to door handle battle down into turn 3. David Bath trying to hold on to the lead. Slight advantage out of turn 4 to Howard. Howard with about a bumper ahead at the start-finish line. Bath is right back even through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. They draw even once again. Side by side into the 3-turn. Howard seems to be able to go into 3 a little bit harder. Even out of turn 4, and Bath is back with a bumper ahead at the start-finish line. Cars stacked up bumper to bumper and wheel to wheel. All new Super Sportsman division here. Sideways goes the number 3. He does a nice job of collecting it up. Everybody on the brakes. 3 wide out of turn 4. Steve Howard does a nice job of holding the car after getting it sideways. That gives a little breathing room to David Bath in the number 5. Spike Manitoul has filled the number 2 position, making the switch from the modified division to the new Super Sportsman. Behind the wheel, the 89. Spike Manitoul, hard charger out of Scarborough, Maine. The 27, limited sportsman veteran Richard Bubba Pelton goes side by side now with Steve Howard working to the outside. Halfway. 5 down, 5 to go. Spike Manitoul looks under the number 5. No room that time. Steve Howard hung on the outside. Here comes Kevin Durgan trying to take over 4th as he works beneath the 03 of Howard. Out of turn 4, it's still the number 5. Bath showing the way. The 27 right at the bumper of the 89. Cars stacked up. Ken McLeod looking for racing room. No place to go right now as he sits at the back bumper of Kevin Durgan and has the 03 to his outside. It will be 2 to go next time by, as Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates just 2 to go in this qualifier. Pelton now looks to the outside of the 89 out of turn 4. Bubba Pelton trying to make a move to the outside of Spike Manitoul. Ken McLeod on his bumper. McLeod was very impressive last week, winning the first ever Super Sportsman feature here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Flagman has the white flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Nice drive by David Bath as he continues to show the way. Spike Manitoul second, side by side battle for 3rd. Kevin Durgan to the inside, Pelton to the outside. Checkered in the air, David Bath, Spike Manitoul, Kevin Durgan, Bubba Pelton, and Chris Rule. Top 5. Very even Super Sportsman division shaping up here for the 1991 season. As the number 5 coasts down to collect the colors, a nice round of applause for David Bath collecting the 2nd qualifier for the Super Sportsman division. Dave Bath. 2nd qualifier for the late model Sportsman division on the Speedway. On the pole is the number 22 of Kerry Winslow. To his outside will be the number 27 of Gary Pulsifer. Gary Pulsifer from the outside shows the way down the backstretch in the number 27. Here comes Bob Randall on the move on the outside. Randall with an impressive run last week to 3rd in the Coke 100. Bob Randall works to the outside of Kerry Winslow in the 22. Winslow fighting back on the inside, trying to draw it even, can't quite do it that time. Winslow, a tough competitor in the 22, trying a new number, said he thinks it might change his luck. Winslow still trying not to relinquish that 2nd place position, but it is in the hands of the 91 of Bobby Randall. Bobby Libby races to 4th in the 34. Here comes Bobby Babb up the inside, driving the newly sponsored Wetterau Food Distributing, the IGA Food Distributors. Award-winning car from the Wyndham Mall of Bobby Babb, battling to the rear bumper of Bobby Libby. Then comes Joe Bowser, side-by-side battle. Back through the pack, the 56 of Andy Lude with Glenn Cusack to his outside. Then Paul Johnson trying to work his way out and around Barry Babb. Halfway already, 5 down, 5 to go. Gary Pulsifer with a lot of pressure at his back bumper from multi-year champion Bobby Randall in the 91. We'll try to get a watch on these late models and see how they compare with that first qualifying heat run of young Mike Mayetta. Bobby Randall now looking to the outside, finding racing room to the outside of the 27. They draw even at turn 4. Here comes Randall on the outside, out over the stripe. Randall desperately trying to capture that first qualifier of the 1991 season, now puts about a half car length ahead of the 27. Pulsive is back on the inside, but it's Randall at the start-finish line. New leader, Bob Randall, takes over the lead. Kerry Winslow looking to the outside now. White flag will be in the air next time by. Randall turns a lap of 15.49. 15.49 in that last lap for Bobby Randall, as he'll see the checkered flag in the air and collect his first qualifying heat of the 1991 season. Bettered the fast time of Brad Layton of those top 5 cars who time trial last week. That's unofficial. Bob Randall, multi-year track champion here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, as he coasts down to collect up the checkered flag. The car connection, number 91 of Bobby Randall. Nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Randall off to a fine start for the 1991 season. Limited Sportsman semi-feature roll out onto the Speedway for their race of the afternoon. These are the competitors in the Limited Sportsman division who have not yet accumulated enough points to get into a qualifying heat. On the pole this afternoon, Dave Fecto in the number 78. Then comes the 79 of Phil Weber. Number 8, I think we missed in the lineup, is Dave McCubry in the number 8. Assistant starter Junior Niles gives the all clear. Have some top drivers in the semi-feature. Assistant starter asking to pick up the pace. Green is out, kind of a slow start. Dave Fecto right off the point. Dave Fecto jumps right into a quick lead, followed by Phil Weber in the 79. Then comes the 83 of Don Whitten, and the 41 of Gene Terrio, and the 80 of Darrell Ward. The top 5. With a comfortable lead. The battle is for second. Phil Weber with a lot of pressure on the 80 of Darrell Ward. Then comes the 56 of Robert Bodwell. Tangle in the 2-turn brings out the caution flag. 2 cars up on the sand pile there. The 125 is Mark Huzzy. And I believe the other car involved is the 114. Well, the officials have done their work. The cars are realigned. Assistant starter Peter Niles on the stand, ready to indicate to the drivers as they glance across from the backstretch they'd better be ready to start when they roll to turn 4. Official pace car is the Lumina from Pape Chevrolet, making its way onto the infield pit road. Dave Fecto and Darrell Ward on the front line, wanting to hang on to the 1 and 2 place positions. Asking for the pace to be picked up a little bit. Green is out. Dave Fecto. Dave Fecto right back into the lead. Darrell Ward at his bumper, side-by-side battle for 3rd place. Robert Bodwell trying to take over 3rd on the outside. Robert Weber fighting back on the inside in the 79. Bodwell has the advantage, takes over 3rd place as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. Bodwell in 3rd place. Weber back to 4th. Cars stretch out now in kind of a single file. Once again, points are what the drivers are after in this race. They will be approaching the halfway mark this time by. Dave Fecto has led every lap so far. Top 3 have put some distance now on the rest of the cars. Fecto, Ward, Bodwell, then comes Weber. Then the 83 of Donnie Whitten. Round out the top 5, side-by-side battle for 6. Finds Gene Terrio on the inside, Don Tapley Jr. on the outside in the 15. Bobby Herrick in the 86 looking for racing room now as he is at the back bumper of the number 15. Spin in the 3 and 4 turn. The 39 sits at the entrance to the infield pit road, trying to get that car refired. That is Mike Colpern in the 39. Rookie this year gets the car underway. Top 3 continue to put distance on the rest of the pack. Dave Fecto, Darrell Ward, Robert Bodwell, then in 4th, Robert Weber, Donnie Whitten. 3 wide racing down the backstretch into the 3 turn. Drivers do a nice job of carrying that off. 2 to go. 2 laps to go. White flag is in the air for Fecto, Darrell Ward, and Robert Bodwell. Cars come together out of the 4 turn. They do a nice job of straightening it out. 3 wide now into the 2 turn. Checkered flag is out for Dave Fecto as he collects up the Limited Sportsman semi-feature. Dave Fecto at the start-finish line, winning this afternoon's Limited Sportsman semi-feature. Nice round of applause as Dave Fecto exits his number 78, collecting the semi-feature. And the biggest part of this, I know, for Dave is to make his way back into the qualifying heats so that he will be in the Limited Sportsman main next week. Dave Fecto, a strong contender in the Limited Sportsman division. Talked to him just briefly earlier today, and he said, boys, I kind of hate to be in that semi-feature, but maybe this helps out a little bit as he collects the checkered flag for his efforts, leading from flag to flag in this afternoon's Limited Sportsman semi-feature. On deck, waiting at the pit exit, will be the consolation event for the Limited Sportsman. those drivers who did not qualify in those first two qualifying events. Looking for a start at turn 4. Green is out. Larry Gelinas from the outside jumps into a quick lead in this afternoon's consolation event. Only 8 cars to qualify for the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Only the top 8 will transfer to the main event. Kevin Gelinas shows the way, followed by the 93 of Dave Langelis. Then comes Dennis Hall in the 94. Both the 93 and 94 are rookies. Eric Lund in the 103. And Guy Poulin in the 32. Round out your top 5 right now. Tells us Paul Ross is in the 138. Paul Ross driving the 138. Ricky Libby in the 77. I don't know as I got that name to you. Kevin Gelinas stretching out a bit of a comfortable lead over the 93 of Dave Langelis as the cars stretch out just a bit. 8th place in the hands of Wayne Shaw, rookie in the number 29. Bit of smoke puffs from the 29. Have to hope that isn't anything serious. Wayne Shaw looking to make the main event. A lot of pressure now for that last qualifying position as the 29, Wayne Shaw, tries to hold on to a qualifying position, but he has the 84 making a strong bid to the outside. That 84 is driven by Dave Field Jr. Side-by-side battle for the last qualifying position. Here comes Dave Field Jr. to the outside, taking over the 8th place position. Last qualifier right now is the 84 of Dave Field. Meanwhile, up front, Kevin Gelinas has just run away with this consolation event. Very strong contender here in the limited sportsman division. Next comes a couple of rookies, the 93 of Dave Langelis from Springvale and Dennis Hall from Scarborough, the 93 and 94. Then Eric Lund in the 103, Guy Poulin in the 32, Ed Strong in the 104, and Ricky Libby in the 77. Last qualifier, the 8th spot, the 84 of Dave Field Jr. It will be just 2 laps to go next time by. Your leader is the 21, Kevin Gelinas, working his way out of the 4-turn down the front stretch. Sees the 2 flags indicating 2 laps to go. Then comes the 93 of Dave Langelis, the 94 of Dennis Hall. As the cars have stretched out, comfortable lead in each of those first 3 positions, actually the top 4 positions. Under the white flag, 1 lap to go. Checkered flag is out for Kevin Gelinas in the 21 as he collects this afternoon's consolation event for the Limited Sportsman Division. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wait for the officials. Safety, always a major concern here at the Speedway. Assistant starter Junior Niles making one final check to be sure that all the belts are in place, all the safety equipment is in place. We have the all clear. Ladies and gentlemen, now for those four most famous words in auto racing. Please join me on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, start your engines. Joining the lineup from the pit area out of Kiesel Falls, Maine. Early heat winner, the 08 of Rod Moody out of Kiesel Falls. Let's give them a nice wave off this afternoon. Wave your hat, your hand, your handkerchief. Let these drivers know that you're sending them off with your good wishes for a safe feature event. Officials tell us 35 laps on tap for the Super Sportsman this afternoon. Veteran starter indicates 1 lap. And we'll be ready to look for green. Eddie Welch, chief starter here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, assistant starter Junior Niles. Tough break for Tony Field as he has to take the number 11 on pit road. We'll have to wait to see if the crew is able to make a quick correction and allow him to rejoin the lineup as they approach the 3-turn. Flagman Eddie Welch gives the all clear, asks them to tighten the lineup up. Pace car moves to the infield pit road. Tim Maloney on the point. Green is out. Arthur Hannaford from the outside jumps into a quick lead over Tim Maloney right on the start. Maloney fights back on the inside. Arthur Hannaford. Here comes Lee Day to the outside. Side-by-side battles shaking up as the number 69 gets into the hard hit into the wall by the 08 of Moody. Brings the caution flag right out. As cars tangle coming out more in a chain reaction. Sends Rod Moody hard into the tie-up area. We'll give you a report just as soon as we have one. Lee Day also up against the tie-up area, as is Arthur Hannaford. Damage on the number 7 also of Kevin Durgan. Red flag immediately on the Speedway. And we'll give you a report as the safety crew is to the car of Rod Moody. Of the 3 cars, it appeared that the 08 did go in the hardest. And we'll certainly have to hope that there's no injury to the driver. Medical crew there assisting Rod Moody. And we will give you a report just as soon as we have one. We'll ask you to stay in your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fine safety crew and medical team that will lend assistance to these drivers. Obviously, medical team working to assist Rod Moody from his damaged race car. We have no further report beyond what we have told you already. Report was that he was conscious. They're concerned that he not be further injured, getting him out of the car. And we're not going to guess that information. We're going to wait until we get further reports and pass them on to you. So we appreciate your patience as the medical team works to free Rod Moody from his race car. We have obviously been on hold due to the Super Sportsman accident involving the 08 of Rod Moody, and we wait for further report. Certainly hope and pray for the condition of Rod Moody. Have an all clear from flagman Eddie Walsh, pace car into the infield pit road. Tim Maloney, Russ Johnson at the front. Out of turn 4, green is out. Russ Johnson from the outside, 3, no. They collected down to a column of 2s out of the 1 and 2 turn. Danny Palmer on the move on the backstretch, as is Bubba Pelton in the 27. Russ Johnson shows the way in the number 19. Danny Palmer, then Richard Bubba Pelton on the move in the 27, trying to make his way out and around Tim Maloney in the 69. He does to take over third. Here comes the 7 of Kevin Durgan. Durgan up to 4th. Spike Manitoul trying to move on the outside also. Spike Manitoul on the move as he looks to the outside of the 03 and then the outside of the 69. As Manitoul goes to the outside, Steve Howard tries to go over the bank, goes the 07 of Doug Shores. Slide, unfortunately, he does not hit anything. And the 07 is underway. We stay under green. Meanwhile, Bubba Pelton's on the move as he challenges Danny Palmer for second. Russ Johnson continues to show the way. Bubba Pelton has taken over second. Then Danny Palmer's third, Kevin Durgan fourth, as the top 4 has worked out and away from the rest of the pack. Looking to put the 07 a lap down, and 07 obviously trying to stay on the lead lap if he possibly can. Moves way to the outside, and Russ Johnson goes way wide, opening up the inside for Bubba Pelton. New leader, the number 27 down the backstretch into the 3 turn is Bubba Pelton in the 27. Danny Palmer slides in a second, dropping the 19 of Russ Johnson back to third. Problem in the 03 of Steve Howard as he appears to be taking it to pit road. Tough way to start this afternoon. Meanwhile, 27, Pelton, your leader. Danny Palmer in second. Russ Johnson back to third. Kevin Durgan is fourth. Here comes last week's feature winner, Ken McLeod, trying to find racing room. As he works to the outside of the number 7, is at the back bumper of 07. Ken McLeod momentarily blocked in, looked to think about going 3 wide and then thought better of it. Trying to go between cars now is the number 6, Ken McLeod. He won the feature last week. Definitely a car to watch here this afternoon. They complete lap 9 of this afternoon's 35-lap feature event. Fairly comfortable lead now for Richard Bubba Pelton in the 27. Danny Palmer in the 93. The battle is for third. Russ Johnson, Kevin Durgan side by side into turn 1. Still side by side with a slight advantage to Durgan now on the backstretch. Ken McLeod also goes to the outside of Russ Johnson. Kevin Durgan and Ken McLeod on the move. Durgan has third spot, but perhaps not for long, as last week's feature winner Ken McLeod in the number 6 is on the move. Ken McLeod now trying to draw even. They cross the line side by side. Durgan to the inside, McLeod to the outside. Slight advantage from the outside. Ken McLeod in the number 6 as he takes over the third place position. Sets his sights on the 93 of Danny Palmer. Smoke begins to appear from the back of the number 6. Bubba Pelton, meanwhile, maintaining about a 4 to 5 car length lead over Danny Palmer. Then Danny Palmer has about a half a straightaway, a little more than a half a straightaway lead over on the number 6. Back in the pack, the 89 rather, of Spike Manitoul, trying to work his way out and around Russ Johnson in the 19. Looks like he's going to do it this lap as they are working lap number 16. A little more smoke begins to show from the back of the number 6 as he continues to try and reduce the space between himself and the second place contender. They will be approaching the halfway mark next time by. Top 3, actually the top 4 cars have stretched out. Some bit of safety zone. Although the 6 continues to smoke, he continues to close in on the second place contender, Danny Palmer. Halfway mark this time by for the rest of the pack. Ken McLeod definitely making up ground as he now draws up to the back end of the 93 of Danny Palmer, looks to the outside of the 93. Ken McLeod, the man on the move. Bubba Pelton now in lap traffic, working to the outside. The 6 car continues to pour smoke from the back, but it does not seem to be hurting the power and performance as Ken McLeod takes over second place down the backstretch into the 3 turn. Working now to the outside of lap cars, setting his sights on race leader Pelton in the 27. Steady smoke now pouring from the Ken McLeod machine, and the officials have to make a decision. Flagman now with a black flag in hand for the Palmer machine, as the concern has to be that he may very well be dropping liquid on the speedway. Started just a little bit of smoke and now is just pouring from the back of the car. Black flag is out to the number 6 of Ken McLeod. Tough break for McLeod. But something is definitely gone amiss in the number 6, as he appeared to be the fastest car on the track. Mechanical failure takes the number 6 of Ken McLeod on a pit road. Pelton, former limited sportsman contender out of Freeport, Maine, making a fine, strong showing here in this new super sportsman division. Number 7, working around some lap cars, is Kevin Durgan, your 3rd place contender. In 4th place is Spike Manitol, the number 89. Richard Bubba Pelton running away with this afternoon's Super Sportsman feature event. Appeared that the only car that might have been able to get out there and race with Pelton was the number 6 of Ken McLeod, but he unfortunately experienced mechanical failure in the number 6, taking him back on a pit road. 5 laps to go this time by. 5 laps to go, 30 down and 5 to go. As smoke begins to show from the back of the number 27. Checkered flag is out for the number 27, Richard Bubba Pelton, claiming this afternoon's feature event. 2nd place goes to Danny Palmer, 3rd place to Kevin Durgan, 4th place to the number 89 of Spike Manitol, in 5th place unofficially to the 14 of Chris Rule. Nice round of applause as Richard Bubba Pelton collects up his first ever feature event in the all-new Super Sportsman. Will parade the colors as Flagman Eddie Welch hands him the checkered flag. Just what every race car driver looks for, that opportunity to collect the colors. Pelton driving a Buick Regal, a Somerset young man out of Freeport. Car is sponsored by Casco Bay Yacht Exchange, Bracket Machines, Scarborough Auto Parts, and Reserve and Sons Towing. Pelton returns the colors to Flagman Eddie Walsh. Prepares to exit his number 27.
Thank you, Bruce. 2 Super Sportsman races so far, 2 different winners. Bubba, you're one of 2. Congratulations.
Thank you. I gotta thank a few people. One would be Herb Howard, putting this car right here. He's my biggest sponsor. And everybody else that helped me this season put it together.
Tell us a little bit more about the race out there today, because you had some pretty tight competition, especially Ken McLeod coming up from behind. Were you seeing him moving on?
No, I don't have a mirror.
Well, you could have used one today. There was a bunch of cars behind you. It was pretty good when he was catching up to you, but smoke came out of his rear end. We noticed the same in yours. Do you know what the ailment is now?
Yeah, power steering. It's a little different without it.
Well, you're lucky that it only came about with a couple of laps to go. This is Scott Sanborn from our sponsor today, the Village Jeweler, who has a trophy and a fine citizen's watch for you, Bubba.
Congratulations on behalf of Village Jewelers.
Thank you.
Thank you too, Scott, and thank you, Bubba. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for winner number 2 on the season, Bubba Pelton.
On the pole for this afternoon's Limited Sportsman feature event, driving the 103 is Eric Lund. To his outside is the 68 of Chuck Haynes. Next comes the 61 of Gordon Nelson and the 50 of Alan Burraby. Green is out. Chuck Haynes from the outside. 68, Chuck Haynes jumps into a quick lead. Gordon Nelson on the move as he works to the outside of Eric Lund. Side-by-side battle for that second spot. Advantage by about a fender. Goes to the 61 of Gordon Nelson. Now he works his way out and around. Tangle in the 1 turn, the 2 turn. Car up over the sand pile into the exit of the infield pit road, puts the cars under caution, as it appears that several cars are hooked together in the 2 turn. Cars under caution. Leaving the 54 of Rick Frenette, needing some wrecker assistance to get back out of that earth barrier there at the 2 turn, inside of the 2 turn area. Richard Olin takes his racer on a pit road with a rear bumper dragging. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates to the drivers all clear as they glance across to the flag stand, making their way down the backstretch, letting them know that they had better be ready for a start at turn 4. Flagman wants a bumper-to-bumper and wheel-to-wheel alignment. And he wants to look for a start as they approach the stripe at turn 4. Let's see if they get green. Chuck Haynes on the pole. See if he can hang on to it. Green is out. Chuck Haynes jumps into a quick lead once again, followed by the 61 of Gordon Nelson. Eric Lund tucks in 3rd. Alan Burraby is 4th. Steve Reno takes over, battles for 5th actually with the 93 of Dave Langelis. Side-by-side battle for 5th spot. Steve Reno on the move up the inside, offering a challenge now beneath the number 50 of Alan Burraby. While meanwhile up front, it is a side-by-side battle with Gordon Nelson trying to take over the point. At the start-finish line, he has a fender up on Chuck Haynes. See if he can hang on to it and better it. Out of turn 2, your new leader, the 61 driven by Gordon Nelson. Gordon Nelson, a veteran limited sportsman campaigner here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, took some time off and then was back last year, seemingly right back in form once again. Gordon Nelson working the backstretch with a fairly comfortable lead now over Chuck Haynes. Side-by-side battle shaping up for third. Eric Lund to the inside, Alan Burby to the outside. Steve Reno looking for racing room on the outside. Ron Smith looks for room on the inside. Chuck Haynes goes wide now, heads to the pit road. Tough break for the youngster Chuck Haynes in the number 68 as he relinquishes a front-running position to take the car on pit road. Cars all stacked up from second place on back. It's a column of twos. Eric Lund doing a nice job of hanging on a second spot. Ron Smith and Alan Burby along with Steve Reno are 3 wide out of turn 4. Reno sideways, holds it on the outside right out over the stripe, trying not to lose too many positions, and that's a tough way to go. 3 wide. Reno still 3 wide out of the 2-turn, down the backstretch, out into the wall. Grazes the backstretch. Alan Burby gets turned around. 34 Bob Shepard into the stalled car of Burby, brings out the yellow flag as they work lap number 7. 3 wide racing, and there just wasn't room. Well, the lineup is correct. The cars have been worked into a column of twos. Drivers get the all clear from flagman Eddie Walsh. Ready to restart once again. 7 laps down in this limited Sportsman feature event. And we will look for a restart out of turn 4. Gordon Nelson on the point. Green is out. Nelson jumps right back into a quick lead as the 103 seems to have a problem getting underway. 3 wide in the 3-turn. Keep your eyes on them, ladies and gentlemen. It's difficult to run 3 wide. So far they're doing it. Still 3 wide racing down the backstretch. We saw what happened last time as cars attempted to run 3 wide. So far the drivers carry that off. Still 3 wide racing down into the 1-turn. Several groups of cars running 3 abreast as the drivers in the back of the pack know that their time is limited to get to the front. Meanwhile, up front on the move, the number 70 of Jeff Morgan. Remember how strong the number 70 ran in the heat? Keep your eyes on the number 70 of Jeff Morgan. He has come out of the pack now to challenge the front runners, working to the outside of Ron Smith in the 49. Jeff Morgan appeared to be very quick as he ran away with his qualifying heat. Cars tangle on the backstretch. The 70 is down into the dirt. I mean, the number 12 is down to there. Tim Gendron. 104 of Ed Strong appears to be headed on a pit road. Meanwhile, Jeff Morgan continues to battle to the outside of the number 49. He takes over the second place position. Now works to the outside of Gordon Nelson. Man on the move is the number 70, Jeff Morgan, as now he draws even with Gordon Nelson out of turn 3 looking to turn 4. Way wide. Almost out over the stripe. Gordon Nelson hangs on, but Jeff Morgan is on the move. Morgan puts a fender ahead halfway down the backstretch. Cars tangle in the 2-turn. Richard Olin's around. Car into the backstretch wall. Yellow flag comes out as Gordon Nelson and Jeff Morgan were side by side. That the 84 has some rather heavy damage on the front end, and he will take it down over the bank and into the back end of the pit area. Tough break for the youngster who was running strong today. And safety crew into the infield. we are ready to restart. Out of turn 4, green flag is out. Gordon Nelson on the inside with a slight advantage. But Jeff Morgan has been coming on strong, and he's continuing to work to the outside of the 61 of Nelson. Racing into the 3 turn. It's a slight advantage as they come to the halfway mark. Jeff Morgan takes over the point. With 15 laps down, the new leader is Jeff Morgan. Steve Reno and Bob Shepard back into competition after the altercations they were involved in. Jimmy Emerson on the move in the 73 as he now works to the outside of the number 12 of Tim Gendron. Jimmy Emerson, former modified competitor here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. And prior to that, a limited Sportsman contender. Now chauffeuring the number 73, trying to find a way to stay ahead of the number 12. Got by, and now the 12 has slipped back up on the inside, retaken the position. Meanwhile, up front, Jeff Morgan has stretched out a pretty good lead over the 61 and the 49, who are battling for second place. Ron Smith in the 49 putting a lot of pressure on the 61. Then in fourth place comes the 88 of Mike Field. The 124 is Denny Bubar's backup car, they tell me. Billy Thompson on the move in the number 6. Thompson now working to the outside of Denny Bubar. Fluid leaking from the 94 of Dennis Hall. Looks like it may be overheating from the radiator. Race shaping up for fourth. We come under a caution flag. Reason for the caution was oil on the speedway. Car's been leaking oil on the speedway, and concern is hazardous situation, and they want to check it out, so they bring the cars under caution so the safety crew can go out and check that out. Flagman shows the drivers the green flag, the clinch green flag this time, indicating be ready next time. 22 laps of this 30-lap feature event already in the record book. And so far, the man to beat appears to be Jeff Morgan in the number 70. Morgan, an aggressive competitor. Drivers get the all clear as they glance across to flagman Eddie Walsh, knowing that they'd better be ready when they roll to turn 4. The Lumina from Pape Chevrolet makes its way on the infield pit road. Gordon Nelson to the outside, Jeff Morgan to the inside. Bring him down. Green is out. Once again, Jeff Morgan with a slight advantage. Ron Smith looks up the inside, couldn't quite do it. Almost was a 3 abreast battle into turn 1, but Smith couldn't quite get the horsepower to put him up beside the number 70 as 70 moved out just a little bit. The battle is from position 2 on back. Ron Smith now taking over second spot as he dives beneath the 61 of Gordon Nelson. Then comes Danny Bubar in the 124. Beaver Norton has made a nice drive to the front as he moves now into the top 5. Billy Thompson right at his back bumper. Then comes Robbie Dorr and Mike Fields side by side. Donnie Morse, Phil Weeks, and here comes the 1990 runner-up in the 111, Pee Wee Knight, working his way to the front. Jeff Morgan with an impressive run here this afternoon. So far, seemingly just a little bit too much power and handling for anybody to contend with, unless one of these drivers that we haven't seen show his hand yet is able to break away and go up and challenge the number 70. Time is winding down. They're working lap number 26. Actually, lap number 27 they'll be completing this time by. It's 27 laps in the record book. Next time by, it'll be just 2 to go, and Jeff Morgan has been strong this afternoon. 2 to go, indicated by the 2 flags out to the drivers. The only car out in the second groove right now is Gordon Nelson. He has not been able to get down into that inside groove, and that's been kind of backing him toward the rear of the lineup. White flag in the air for Morgan and the rest of the limited sportsman feature event. Checkered flag flies for Jeff Morgan, collecting the main event. Ron Smith, Danny Bubar, Beaver Norton, and Billy Thompson round out the top 5. Jeff Morgan coasts down and collect up the colors to make his parade lap. In just a few moments, we will go trackside to get a chance to see and hear this afternoon's limited sportsman main event winner. Second place, a fine, strong run by Ron Smith in the 49. And third place to Danny Bubar in the 124. Jeff Morgan pilots a 1979 Pontiac Grand Prix, sponsored by American Northeast Glass, J&M Towing, and the Midas Muffler Shop in Saco. Morgan returns the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh, prepares to exit his number 70.
Thank you, Bruce. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Victory Lane, Jeff Morgan. Jeff, congratulations. You were running hard out there, had a decent lead.
Well, I had some previous motor problems there last week, and we got it straightened out. The chassis was working great today. It's just going around the corners great. I got to thank Bob Bailey of High Torque Engines. He's put what I needed in there. You know, I was missing a little horsepower there with my own engines, and he's got the right stuff up there. I got to thank him and Midas Muffler and J&M Towing and American Northeast Glass.
A fine run today. You were out front, you had a real comfortable lead and everything. A little bit of pressure from behind, but they were kind of racing amongst themselves. Next week you start at the back and have to come up through. You've done that before. What are you looking for next week when you start up back?
Well, I'm back in my old grounds. That's what it looks like. I'll be happy to start back there because it's still early in the year. You got a lot of guys feeling their cars out. A lot of these guys are doing a real good job. But I basically like, this is the furthest I've started up front, so that's why I was looking for a win today. But I'm back in my back spot, and I can pan things out and see what's going on up ahead. Hopefully I'll be here again.
Some nice insight from you, Jeff. Scott Sanborn from the Village Jewelers, our sponsor today, has the presentation for you. Scott?
Great race. This is Troy Big on behalf of Village Jewelers. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a nice round of applause for Jeff Morgan. Congratulations, Jeff. Bruce Elder.
Is out. Side-by-side battle into turn 1 as Bobby Libby gets a little loose. Here comes Winslow from the outside, taking over the lead. Into turn 3, it's Kerry Winslow from the outside pole position, showing a lot of strength, getting a little loose now. Car gets a little squirrely. Winslow does a nice job of collecting it up. Tim Land still in second. Bobby Randall looking for racing room as he works to the back of the 16 and inside the 27 of Pulsivar. From second place on back, it's bumper to bumper and wheel to wheel for the late models, right on back through about the 15th position. Bobby Randall continues to be momentarily blocked in as he is at the back bumper of the 16 of Tim Land, has the 27 Gary Pulsivar to his outside. Jerry Winslow with an impressive start to this afternoon's feature event. Tim Land and Gary Pulsivar waging battle in second place. We'll get a watch on the 22 of Kerry Winslow, see what kind of time he's turning. Meanwhile, the driver's kind of trapped back there. Column of twos from second place right on back through the pack. We got a 15.59 on Kerry Winslow's last lap. Very respectable time. Not going to be easy. Now the cars begin to shake free a little bit. Bobby Randall gets to the outside groove, gets by the 16. Trying to get a watch on Randall here, although he still does not have open track. Expect him to be very quick. Bobby Libby on the move as he looks for racing room at the back of the 32 of Joe Bowser. Cars tangle in the foreturn. Bobby Libby looks like Paul Johnson, perhaps, hard into the sand pile. Bobby Libby also hard into the sand pile, but is able to drive away. Tough way to start for Bobby Libby and Paul Johnson. Paul Johnson trying to back out of the sand pile now. Very, very disappointing start for Paul Johnson. Paul Johnson started 34th. If you were here last week, last starting position by a provisional start, and he drove that 35 all the way to 4th place by some of the best late model sportsman drivers anywhere in the Northeast. Glenn Cusack's crew makes a quick tire change and he sits ready to re-enter the competition at the pit exit turn 3. Little indication of the quality of the pit crews here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Pace car on the infield pit road. Still haven't seen Paul Johnson as they get to turn 4. Green is out. Keep an eye on that pit exit, see if Paul Johnson is able to get back. If he doesn't, he is a lap down. And he is gone a lap down. Tough break for Paul Johnson. Gary Pulsivar shows the way right from the point. Getting the jump on the 22 of Kerry Winslow. Bobby Randall 3rd, Joe Bowser 4th, Barry Babb is 5th. Smoke appearing from the 34 machine as he begins to work his way back up through the pack. Gary Pulsivar doing a nice job holding on to the point as the cars work lap number 11. More smoke appearing now at the rear of the number 34. Does not seem to be affecting the progress very much. Bobby Randall in the outside groove now. Looks for racing room to the outside of Joe Bowser, now to the outside of Kerry Winslow. Bobby Randall on the move. Keep your eyes on the number 91 coming out of the foreturn as he works the outside groove, challenging the 22 of Kerry Winslow for second place. Winslow now gets beneath the 27 of Gary Pulsivar. Winslow challenging for the lead. As it appeared as though he might lose second place, he takes over the lead as they cross the straight. New leader is the 22, Kerry Winslow. Joe Bowser slides on by on the inside, now in a side-by-side battle with Gary Pulsivar for second place. Bobby Randall boxed in. Randall sits boxed in. Now he works beneath the 27, trying to find some clear track. There hasn't been much of that for Randall yet this afternoon. Winslow goes a little wide. Joe Bowser looked inside momentarily. Now he's right at the back bumper, and keep your eyes on the 32 now. If that 22 goes wide again, you're going to see Joe Bowser make a bid to the inside. But here comes Randall on the outside. They got to be concerned with that 91 after the way it ran last Sunday afternoon against the American Canadian Tour cars. You have to know that it's going to be strong here each and every week. Mike Mayetta on the move also. Defending champion of the late model Sportsman ranks, Mike Mayetta, now taking a bid to the outside of the 27 of Gary Pulsifer, trying to work his way up into the top 4. Looks like he is going to do it from the outside. Dead heat across the line as they battle for that 4th spot. Mike Mayetta with a slight advantage as they race the 3 and 4 turn. Bobby Randall's side-by-side slight advantage as he momentarily is able to take over second place. Joe Bowser's right back for that side-by-side battle with Randall for second. Randall now looks to the outside of the 22 of Kerry Winslow as Mayetta shakes free and takes 4th place in his hands. Bringing with him Bobby Harrison now in the 37. Harrison looking to follow Mayetta up through, and Mike Johnson on the move in the 33. Some of the heavy hitters here, the traditional top runners, working their way to the front steadily. Randall now on the outside of the race leader. Randall makes a bid to take over the lead down the backstretch. In a turn 3, new leader is Bob Randall. Goes a little wide, hangs onto it, out of the 4 turn across the stripe. Randall's your new leader. Bob Randall trying to shake free of Kerry Winslow. He does. Has the lead to himself now by about a car length and a half. Battle is for 5th between Gary Pulsifer on the inside, Bobby Harrison to the outside. Problems on the Tim Land machine as he looks to be headed toward pit road. They will be approaching the halfway mark next time by as flagman Eddie Walsh. Heavy smoke from the 56 of Andy Lude, winningest driver in the late model Sportsman campaign for 1990, takes the 56 on pit road. A tough way to start the 1991 season for Lude. Randall, Winslow, Bowser, Mayetta, and Bobby Harrison make up your top 5. Car to watch is the 33 of Mike Johnson. He's a former champion here in the late model Sportsman ranks, and he will certainly endeavor to move to the front if there's any possible way. Right now, he's trying to find a way by the 27 of Gary Pulsifer. Top 7 cars now have kind of put some distance on the next competitor, Bobby Babb in the number 4, and the number 3 of Mike Mayetta Jr. Randall now working his way around some cars that he's putting a lap down. 83 of rookie Steve Carey, the 59 of John Pippen. Continues to put distance on the second place competitor, the 22 of Kerry Winslow. got a side-by-side battle. Bobby Harrison works beneath Mike Mayetta coming out of turn 4. Up into 4th place is Bobby Harrison now in the 37. Mike Johnson has improved another position. Now is up to the back bumper of the 13 of Mike Mayetta. Bobby Randall just continues to put distance on the rest of the field. Bobby Harrison on the move now. Looks to find a way around the 32 of Joe Bowser, as a battle is shaping up for that 3rd spot. Bobby Randall, even though he has that big lead, still turning laps at about 15.8 seconds. Not pushing the car as hard as he could, but still turning very, very respectable late model Sportsman time here this afternoon. Joe Bowser with a mirror full of Bobby Harrison now. Harrison now moves to the outside, trying to challenge Bowser from the outside groove. As they race the backstretch into the 3-turn, Bobby Harrison tries to draw it even. Meanwhile, Mike Johnson is going to close off that inside groove, so Bobby Harrison is going to have no place to go. But they get together, and the 32 of Bowser is hard into the backstretch wall, brings out the yellow immediately. A hard hit into the backstretch wall by Joe Bowser. We'll give you a report from the safety crew just as soon as we get one. Safety crew radios that Joe Bowser says he's okay, and you can see him exit the car, indicating that he is all right. And I'm sure his big concern is the car. Flagman Eddie Walsh indicates the all clear as the drivers glance across to the flag stand. Pace cars on pit road. Bobby Randall, Kerry Winslow on the front line. Green is out. Bobby Randall jumps right back into a quick lead. Bobby Harrison, cars tangle in the 1 turn. Everybody straight so far, hooked together. Evidently, they finally shake loose. But we have 2 cars stalled up in turn 2, right back under yellow. Pace car into the infield pit road. Randall and Winslow bring them down. Turn 4, green is out. Winslow goes way wide. Here comes Mike Johnson right up the middle. What a move by Mike Johnson. Between cars, now he's a challenger up front. Works out and around Bobby Harrison. The 33 of Mike Johnson is on the move. Sets his sights on Bobby Randall now. Let's see what will happen. 4 former champions in the top 4 spots. Randall, Mike Johnson, Bobby Harrison, and Mike Mayetta. all former champions here in the late model division. Laps winding down. Next time it'll be 5 to go. Bobby Randall showing the strength once again of the number 91. Battle shaping up for second. Mike Johnson just powered his way up into that position, but now he's going to have to hold off Bobby Harrison in the 37 and Mike Mayetta in the 13. Kerry Winslow fighting back. Bobby Randall, nearly a half straightaway lead. Mike Mayetta on the move on the outside. Keep your eyes on the number 13 as he works out and around the 37 of Harrison. Mike Mayetta now sets his sights. A spin by Steve Carrier. Turns the 83 between turns 1 and 2. Trying to refire the car. Yellow comes out. Pace car into the infield pit road. Randall and Mike Johnson on the front line. Green is out. Randall with the advantage. Here comes Mayetta up the inside. Mayetta challenging beneath the 33 of Mike Johnson. They race the backstretch to the 3-turn. Mayetta and Johnson are wheel to wheel. Mike Johnson, slight advantage at the line, goes to Mayetta. Mayetta had second place by about a bumper. Now he takes it over by a car length. White flag will be in the air as they exit turn 4. 1 lap to go. Bobby Randall once again in command. Mike Mayetta second. Mike Johnson third. Checkered flag waves. Bobby Randall captures the 50 lap regular season opener here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway, followed closely by Mike Mayetta, defending champion. Nice round of applause as Bobby Randall coasts down and collect up the colors. He'll do his parade lap, and we'll have an opportunity to see and hear feature winner Bobby Randall in just a few moments. Randall is out of Sanford, Maine. As I mentioned earlier, he is a 4-time late model sportsman champion here at the Speedway. Coming back from kind of a tough 1990 season. Coasts down and return the colors to flagman Eddie Walsh.
Bob Randall, congratulations. A popular win for you this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
I think after last week being so close in the American-Canadian Tour race, everyone was really pulling with you today. Tell us a little bit about last week and today.
Well, last week the car ran real good, and car ran real good this week. There's a few other things I could say about last week, but I'll be quiet about it.
Tell us a little bit. At the start of today, you were working on the outside. It took you a few laps to get the lead, but once you did, you were gone. Was it just not handling as well on the outside?
Well, I just, I was trying to do without getting any problems with the guys I was passing. Car seemed to be working all right. I can't complain. I want to thank my crew first off. Geez, they've done a hell of a job getting the car going. And secondly, I'd like to thank Larry Cates and Cates Car Connection, who has bought the car and owns it now. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. So, and all my other sponsors too. So it's been a joint effort.
I know last year you weren't really serious about pursuing a championship title. You were just kind of taking it one race at a time with finances and all. This year, the situation has changed. Does that mean you're headed for number 1?
Yeah, it's 91 and 91.
Scott Sanborn from the Village Jewelers is here with a presentation. Scott?
Congratulations on behalf of Village Jewelers. This is a nice Citizens Watch for you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate all the sponsorship that all you guys give these racetracks. Without you guys, it'd be a tough road to hoe out here.
We thank you, Bob, and we congratulate you again as well. You heard it here, folks. It's 91 and 91. According to Bob Randall, he's off to a good start. A nice round of applause for Bob Randall.
How about that 91 and 91? I like the sound of that. That's a good response there from Bob Randall. Ready for a start at turn 4. Green is out. 4 abreast. What did I tell you? Turn 1. We already have a spin. .44 shows the way. We have cars hooked together over in the 4 turn. Roger Cloutier in the 44. Then comes the 77, which is Steve Berry Jr., youngster out of Gorham, Maine. Car off into the sand pile off the 2 turn. 3 abreast. Still going on down the front stretch into the 1 turn. And 4 abreast now. Steve Berry setting his sights on race leader number 44. Red flag is out. But of course these guys aren't used to looking at flags and lights like this. Oh, we find out who has brakes also. Realize how long that red light's been on? That's one of the differences here with the Wildcats. Back under green from a standing start. Another little difference that varies. The 28, I believe that is, out in the lead. Either 28 or 29, hard to tell, yeah. Spin by the 23 right in front of the pack. Whoa! Car flies into the infield. Everybody's okay. How about that for a little variation? How'd you like to have been a passenger in that 23? Whoa! 29 in the lead. Jim Fitz right back in a familiar place. Whoa! Turn 3 and 4. 24 lives a blessed life. He's not hit. Oh, another spin. Guy's doing a good job of avoiding these cars that have spun around. Caution and red. Evidently, most of these guys do have brakes. The 60 hasn't realized we're under a red flag yet. He thinks, boy, I've got some new power here. Driving on by the pack. Whoa. 34 sits high and dry. From a standing stop, you have a little stock car racing, you have a little drag racing in this Wildcat division. Flagman Eddie Walsh checking with all of his officials by radio contact to be sure that everything's clear. Green is out. Jim Fitz once again jumps into a lead. 77, Steve Berry Jr. jumps back into second. Then comes the 15. Taking the 3rd place position in hand, that's Charles Roussel. Top 3 breakaway problems on the number 4 of Mark Grantham as he stalls in the infield. Whoa! Another one stalled in the 3 turn. My old friend Don Kent would have said, how would you like to have your mother-in-law sitting in the back of that one? Whoa! Some of these guys, when they stall like that, they must think it's like walking across a firing range. Dies like that, and you have a field of cars the size of this one, 3 abreast. These guys are doing a great job of avoiding these cars that spin and stall and can't get started. Green is out once again. Jim Fitz. Steve Berry Jr. back into second. Battle for 3rd. Here comes the 15 once again. Charles Roussel. Top 3. Car sideways out of the 4 turn. 23 back on the move. Craig Bernia. 15 is sideways in the two-turn. Whoa. Visibility is going to become a problem. Cars spin coming out of 2 down the backstretch. Drivers do a great job of avoiding those cars once again. Heavy smoke from the back of the 7. The number 1 having trouble getting back underway. Meanwhile, up front, Jim Fitz and Steve Berry Jr. show the way. Berry closing in now a bit on the Fitz car. Spin in the two-turn. We can't see the car, but see a lot of dust and smoke. Car in the 4-turn. The 44. Lucky once again, that's Roger Cludia. Spins it, steers clear of the traffic. Spin over in the 2-turn again. Can't tell you the number because we can't see it, but driver trying to refire that car, can't do it. Caution flag once again. Caution on the field once again. But most of them don't see that. Red light is out now. Ready to go again. Green is out. Steve Berry and Jim Fitz dragging out of turn 4. Steve Berry with the advantage now up the inside, takes over the lead into the 1-turn. Steve Berry, a new leader in the 77. Jim Fitz spinning the 1-turn. Looks like the number 3 of Tom Lovejoy. He gets it turned back about. Leader out of the front stretch, Steve Berry Jr. shows the way. Jim Fitz in second. Then comes the 07 of Michael Ramsey up to third. The 23 of Craig Bernia. And it looks like the 54, this is unofficial, Jeff Greenstreet rounds out your top 5. Spin. It's the 53 getting turned about here into the 1-turn. Here comes the whole pack. Whoa. He just gets it into the speed bumps, out of harm's way. And so far, all of these guys have done a great job of avoiding spin on the backstretch. Looks like the number 6 would be William Bunnell out of Kennebunk. Gets it back underway. Spin in the 1-turn. The number 40 is turned about. Number 40 is Charles Harmon out of Gorham. 53 gets underway. Red flag once again. Red flag and red light once again. Ready to restart again. Green is out. This time Jim Fitz gets the slight advantage. Steve Berry Jr. fights back on the inside. They're even at the line. Steve Berry Jr. up the inside. Fitz goes a little high. Here comes the 54 on the move. 23 gets out of shape, also loses a lot of ground. The number 2 is stalled on the backstretch. We're back to a caution once again. Fine run so far by the youngster out of Gorham, driving the 77. That's Steve Berry Jr. And one of the veteran and winningest drivers in the Wildcat division. Sets to his outside in the 29, Jim Fitz. Green flag is out once again. Steve Berry Jr. trying to recapture the lead, but he has Greenstreet up the inside. into the one turn. Your leader in the 77 is Steve Berry Jr., but here comes Greenstreet right up the inside in the 54, taking over the lead. Jeff Greenstreet out of South Portland. It'll be just 2 laps to go. Greenstreet gets sideways coming out of the foot. Cars tangled, 29. Fitz, the former leader, tangles up in the 3 turn. 22 gets back underway. We stay under green. Spin in the 1 and 2 turn. The number 7 gets out of shape. Joseph Hennessy. Another spin. Can't tell. Looks like 31. Leader is Greenstreet. Jeff Greenstreet in the 54. 28 goes high, as does Steve Berry Jr. The 28 is Todd Fitz. White flag in the air. Checkered flag comes out. Jeff Greenstreet. Todd Fitz in second. Steve Berry Jr. in third. So the first of the Wildcat feature events, Team A, is captured by Jeff Greenstreet from South Portland, followed by the youngster in number 28, Todd Fitz, and in third place, Steve Berry Jr. Because those beyond first place are unofficial, but that's the way we see them from the tower, so that's the way we'll deliver them to you.
Unofficially, our first Wildcat winner of the season. Congratulations.
Thank you much.
What was it like out there today? A lot of smoke and steam still out here. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did. It was fun.
How much money in the car?
Oh, a lot.
Lots of money in the car. That isn't usually the case with the Wildcat division. We know you've got over $100 coming to you today. We hope that helps out and gets you back here in the next race.
Thanks a lot.
We wish you the best. Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for our first Wildcat winner of the season. Thank you all for being here today. And Bruce Elder, back to you.
Thank you, Andy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our afternoon of racing. We'll urge you to drive carefully on your way home. And we hope that you'll make it a habit to be right back here with us at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway